Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of today's newsletter is going to be, I don't want to lose my girl. Well, I've got an email here from a viewer who doesn't want to lose his girl. You guessed it. He's basically stuck in a fearful state, and he's doing and saying things because he's afraid of losing her that are literally driving her away and causing her to become confused, unsure. And on top of that, there's this male friend of hers who's kind of in the picture, which is making him jealous. And so he writes in asking my opinion on the situation. So you know what? I'm going to give it to him. So I have a quote that I wrote, and then we're going to go through his email. And the quote says, "You get what you focus on in life. What you focus on expands. Where intention goes, energy flows. Instead of focusing on what you are afraid of happening or what you wish to avoid, instead focus on what you want to create and attract for your life. When we are fearful, we tend to focus on what we are trying to avoid. This in turn causes us to do and say things that actually bring about what we are trying to avoid. We don't always have control over what happens to us in life, but we always have control over where we direct our focus. Focus on what you want and what actions you need to take to make what you want a reality. When you focus on what you want and you take action to make it a reality, eventually you will manifest your desired outcome. The results we get in life are always going to be aligned with our focus and actions." That's definitely something to think about. So he says, "Hey coach, I've been dating my girl for 8 months. We had a recent falling out and I realized I was starting to lose her, so I got on track. She finally opened up and said she was thinking about leaving me but couldn't find the way. She said she hated me because I never asked her how she's doing and she needs time to really think about what she wants to do. The reason she says she's pissed at you because you never asked how she's doing is because you're really focused on not so much on how she's doing, but you're focused on what she's doing for you, because you can tell that she's starting to back away and you don't like it. So you're focused on what you're getting instead of what you can give to this relationship, because at the end of the day, relationships are all about giving. Since then, I have just been all over her. Every day starts off well and ends with me just overdoing it." So in other words, he's saying, I just can't help myself, Corey. Well, guess what? If you keep doing this, eventually she is going to leave you and break up with you and stick you in friend zone. If that's what you want, then by all means, keep taking this approach, which is turning her off. "I've been watching your videos and I read your book, and I know I have to back off a little bit and give her space. I was okay with that until I realized her friend that always wanted me has been instigating. She also began hanging out with a male friend, and her friend, the female, is the one that is pushing that situation. So her girlfriend is basically trying to get her out of your life so she can step into the picture. Not that that's necessarily a bad thing. Can you see how that can work to your advantage? Her girlfriend wants you, and therefore her girlfriend is trying to come in between you and your girlfriend and encouraging her to go hang out with this other guy, friend of hers. That's why doing nothing can be helpful. As a matter of fact, if her girlfriend's like, hey, what are you doing? Well, why don't you come on over and hang out? And then so when your girlfriend talks to her girlfriend and says, what'd you do the other night? Oh, I hang out with Bob. You hung out with my boyfriend? Well, yeah, we just hung out and got a bottle of wine and just kind of talked about things. I mean, she's hanging out with this other guy friend, and she's unsure. She's confused. He says, I got very jealous and reached out to him. Oh, man, dude, that's a total bitch move. She was furious. Duh. Now you're interfering with her replacement for you. How dare you? She said I have to give her space and trust that she knows what she's doing. Obviously, I'm lining up your replacement. How dare you interfere with that? Because once it's going good, then I can ditch you and not feel so bad because I'll have somebody to rebound with. Is there anything if there is anything she needs from me, she will let me know. So in other words, she's already kind of pushed you away, and now she's hanging out with this other guy who's a friend to see if there's any chemistry. Fuck that. I would just say, you know what? It's not cool that you're hanging out with this other guy when you're telling me you need space. What that looks like to me is you're lining up this other dude to date. I mean, obviously, I would have never called this guy, but I would have definitely called her out on that because she's telling you what's going on. She's just saying he's a friend. This guy is going to be just a friend until he ends up inside of her. Then, oops, it just happened. I also tried to do something from the movies. Come on, man. And I walked to her house in the morning and I gave her a handwritten letter. Oh, it's so nice. That's what you see in the movie. Oh, it's so romantic. You weren't walking to her house to give her a letter from your heart. Really, you're using the letter as a bribe in order to induce her to not leave you for this other guy. That's fucking weak. Now, have things been going good and you just wanted to give her a letter because you cared about her, maybe you could have had it hand delivered or something like that, where it's just a surprise in the middle of the week or the middle of the month or whatever. She stopped by after work and talked to me about the situation with her friend, the guy. She said I shouldn't go over her head because now she has to deal with this guy, not me. Just say, you know what? You're supposed to be my girlfriend. You shouldn't have to be dealing with this guy, period. It's just not fucking cool. And if you really cared about me, you wouldn't be rubbing another guy in my face or hanging out exploring your feelings with this other guy. Oh, there's nothing going on. Yeah, there's nothing going on until you end up having sex. Then, oops, it just happened. Afterwards, we texted all evening. You should be making dates. Hang out, have fun, and hook up, dude. When I called, she said she did not want to speak, and I said, okay. So you're texting back and forth. You're like, hey, ring-a-dingy, what are you doing? Oh, I don't want to talk. Let's just text. Okay. Click. If I change my game and follow your book, do you think I have a chance to keep her? Flip a coin. It depends on how much damage you've done. But I promise you, if you keep over pursuing, stalking, acting controlling, acting jealous, calling people, guys that are your potential replacements and saying, hey, what are you doing talking to my girl? She's definitely going to say, you're a fucking total pussy, and she's going to blow you off. So what I would do at this point, because she's the one that's saying, oh, I need to think about things. Great. Take all the time you need and get back to me when you figure that out. In the meantime, I'm going to go hang out with your girlfriend. Just as friends, because we're just pals. I wouldn't tell her that, but just say, give me a call when you figure it out. But you hanging out with this other guy when you need some space or time, that's definitely not fucking cool. And that's not the kind of thing that I want to hear that's going to make me go, yeah, I'd really love to see you after you get done figuring out your feelings. That's not right. Take some time, but take some time and hang out with your girlfriends. Let me hang out with some other dude who obviously is interested in you. That's not fucking cool. And at the end of the day, if she wants to screw around with this guy, there's nothing you can do about it. So you're going to date this other guy or what? I mean, it's like, what does that mean to me? You want to still be exclusive while you're figuring things out? Or are you telling me you want to date other people? It's like, because you need to be crystal fucking clear about that. Because when you say you're confused and you need time, but yet you're hanging out with some other guy, that sounds to me like you're trying to see where things go with this other guy. And if things work out, then you're going to say, hey, well, I took some time and I figured out I want to be with somebody else instead of you. That's fucking bullshit. But if you need time to think about things and you're not going to be hanging out with this guy or any other dude, then great. You take all the time you need and you get in touch with me when you figure it out. And then you wait to hear from her. And when you do, make her come to you. Make her come to your place to hang out, have fun, and hook up. And remember, the phone is for setting dates. You're chit-chatting on the phone. You've totally given your power away in this situation. And she's just got you totally wrapped around her finger. Make her come to you. Make her come over and make dinner at your place for at least the first 3 dates. And let her do 100% of the calling, texting, and pursuing. Wait to hear from her. And when you do, make a date at your place. Hang out, have fun, and hook up. And if she wants you to get you to do anything else, just say, hey, it's been a long week. I'm just in the mood to hang at my place. If you don't want to do that, give me a call in a week or so, and maybe I'll be up for something more formal then. Make her come to you. Make her earn your time, because the way you've acted, you basically communicated that you and your life and your time and what you offer to a woman is really low value. And therefore, that's why she's treating you like this. That's why she's confused, because you're not acting like a man. You're not acting like a guy who's got choices, who's got options, who doesn't have to put up with this bullshit. So if you'd like to get my help personally, the quickest way is to book a paid phone, Skype, or email coaching session. You can choose any of those options by going to my website, clicking the Products tab at the top of your screen, and just follow the instructions for booking whichever option works best for you. And I will talk to you soon.